Football transfers are always exciting, with fans eagerly anticipating the arrival of new stars. However, not every transfer turns out to be a success story. Some of the most expensive signings in football history have ended up being disastrous for the clubs involved. Here are 15 of the worst transfers in football history. Philippe Coutinho to Barcelona. Barcelona made Philippe Coutinho the most expensive signing in their history when they splashed out $142 million to bring him in from Liverpool. The Brazilian was a fan favourite at Anfield, dazzling supporters with his creativity and flair, contributing 41 goals and 35 assists in 152 appearances. However, upon arriving at Camp Nou, Coutinho struggled to find his rhythm. In 76 appearances for the Catalan Giants, he managed only 21 goals and 11 assists. Injuries and fierce competition for places left him sidelined, and he was ultimately loaned to Bayern Munich, where he scored twice against Barcelona in the Champions League. The club eventually sold him for a fraction of the original fee, making this transfer a glaring misstep in their transfer strategy. Eden Hazard to Real Madrid. Eden Hazard's transfer to Real Madrid was highly anticipated, with the club paying around $100 million for the Belgian winger in the summer of 2019. Hazard arrived at the Bernabeu with a stellar reputation, having scored 110 goals and provided 92 assists in 352 appearances for Chelsea. However, his time in Spain was marred by injuries and fitness issues. In his first season, Hazard scored just 1 goal in 22 appearances. The following season was even worse, with only 14 appearances and no goals. His inability to replicate his Chelsea form left Real Madrid fans frustrated, and he became a cautionary tale of how high expectations can lead to disappointment. Fernando Torres to Chelsea. When Chelsea signed Fernando Torres from Liverpool for $50 million in January 2011, they believed they were acquiring one of the best strikers in the world. Torres had terrorized defenses at Liverpool, scoring 81 goals in 172 appearances. However, his time at Stamford Bridge was a stark contrast. Over 172 appearances, he managed just 45 goals and 35 assists, struggling to find his confidence and form. His lack of clinical finishing and a series of missed opportunities led many to label this transfer a failure. Despite a few memorable moments, including a crucial goal in the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, Torres never reached the heights expected of him at Chelsea. Ousmane Dembélé to Barcelona. Ousmane Dembélé was hailed as the successor to Neymar when Barcelona signed him for $105 million in August 2017. The French winger had impressed at Borussia Dortmund, scoring 10 goals and providing 21 assists in just 50 appearances. However, his time at Camp Nou has been riddled with injuries and inconsistency. In 118 appearances for the Catalan Giants, Dembélé has managed only 32 goals and 34 assists. His frequent injuries and inability to stay fit left fans frustrated, and the hefty price tag only added to the scrutiny. Andriy Shevchenko to Chelsea. Andriy Shevchenko arrived at Chelsea with a reputation as one of the best strikers in the world, having scored 173 goals in 296 appearances for AC Milan. The Blues paid $30.8 million for the Ukrainian in May 2006, expecting him to lead their attack. However, his time at Stamford Bridge was disappointing. In 77 appearances, Shevchenko managed only 22 goals, struggling to adapt to the pace and physicality of the Premier League. His lack of form and fitness led to a disappointing spell, and he eventually returned to Milan on loan. This transfer is often cited as one of the biggest flops in Chelsea's history. Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United. Manchester United announced the signing of Alexis Sanchez with a video of him supposedly playing the piano. But whenever the Chilean was on the pitch for United, he hit all the wrong notes. Sanchez arrived at Old Trafford as part of a rare swap deal that sent Henrikh Mkhitaryan to Arsenal. Because there was no transfer fee, United handed Sanchez a whopping contract. According to reports, the forward earned an eye-watering $390,000 a week, making him one of the best-paid footballers on the planet. But his performances didn't match his salary. Sanchez had already been showing signs of decline at Arsenal, losing some of his pace and intensity due to injuries and a heavy schedule for club and country. Still, United fans expected more than 5 goals in 45 games. Things got so bad that the former Arsenal star admitted he wanted to rip up his contract. United eventually loaned him to Inter and even agreed to pay more than half his salary. Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea. Romelu Lukaku returned to Chelsea in August 2021, with the club hoping he would be the missing piece in their quest for Premier League glory. The Belgian striker had been in fine form for Inter Milan, scoring 64 goals in 95 appearances. However, his second stint at Stamford Bridge was filled with controversy and disappointment. In 26 appearances for the Blues, Lukaku managed just 8 goals, significantly lower than his scoring rate in Italy. An unauthorized interview expressing his desire to return to Inter only fueled tensions with fans and management. After just one season, he was loaned back to Inter, marking this transfer as a costly mistake for Chelsea. Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo's return to Manchester United in August 2021 was met with excitement and anticipation from fans. The Portuguese superstar had enjoyed a glittering first spell at Old Trafford, scoring 118 goals and providing 69 assists in 292 appearances. However, his second stint has been a mixed bag. While he scored 24 goals in 38 appearances, United struggled as a team, failing to qualify for the Champions League. Ronaldo's high wages and perceived lack of effort led to criticism from fans and pundits alike, with many questioning whether this transfer was a mistake. Ultimately, his departure from the club in 2022 left a bittersweet taste in the mouths of supporters. Radamel Falcao to Manchester United. Radamel Falcao arrived at Manchester United in September 2014, with the club hailing him as a coup. The Colombian striker had been one of the most prolific goal scorers in Europe, finding the net 142 times in 178 appearances for Porto, Atletico Madrid, and Monaco. However, his time at Old Trafford was a disaster. In 29 appearances for the Red Devils, Falcao managed just 4 goals and 4 assists, a significant drop from his previous scoring rates. His lack of form and fitness led to his departure at the end of the season, with United deciding against making the move permanent. Kaká to Real Madrid. Kaká became the most expensive player of all time when Real Madrid signed him from AC Milan for $56 million in June 2009. The Brazilian playmaker had been a revelation at the San Siro, scoring 104 goals and providing 95 assists in 307 appearances. However, his time at the Bernabeu was disappointing. In 120 games for Los Blancos, Kaká managed only 29 goals and 32 assists. Injuries robbed him of his pace and dynamism, and he struggled to adapt to life in Spain. He eventually returned to Milan on loan, but was never the same player after leaving the Italian club. Memphis Depay to Manchester United. Memphis Depay arrived at Manchester United in June 2015, with the club hailing him as one of the brightest young talents in world football. The Dutch winger had impressed at PSV Eindhoven, scoring 50 goals and providing 29 assists in 124 appearances. However, his time at Old Trafford was a disaster. In 53 games for the Red Devils, Depay managed just 7 goals and 6 assists, failing to find his place in the team. He struggled to adapt to the demands of the Premier League and was eventually sold to Lyon in January 2017. Paul Pogba to Manchester United. Paul Pogba's return to Manchester United in August 2016 was heralded as a homecoming for the prodigal son, with the club paying a then world record fee of $89 million to bring him back from Juventus. Pogba had previously left United for free in 2012, and during his time in Italy, he had developed into one of the best midfielders in the world, contributing 34 goals and 40 assists in 89 appearances for Juventus. However, his second stint at Old Trafford was marred by inconsistency and injuries. In 233 appearances for United, Pogba managed only 39 goals and 48 assists, failing to deliver the impact expected of him. His time at the club was filled with ups and downs, and he ultimately left on a free transfer in 2022, leaving many to question whether the investment was worth it. Andy Carroll to Liverpool. Andy Carroll's transfer to Liverpool in January 2011 was a bold statement from the club, who paid a British record fee of $35 million to sign the striker from Newcastle United. Carroll had shown promise at Newcastle, scoring 11 goals in 19 appearances before his move. However, his time at Anfield was disappointing. In 58 appearances for Liverpool, he managed only 11 goals and 7 assists, struggling with injuries and form. Despite some memorable moments, including a crucial goal in the FA Cup semi-final against Everton, Carroll never fully adapted to life at Liverpool. Juan Sebastián Verón to Manchester United. Juan Sebastián Verón arrived at Manchester United in July 2001, with the club hailing him as the missing piece in their midfield puzzle. The Argentine had been a standout performer for Lazio and Inter Milan, boasting a passing range that caught the eye of Sir Alex Ferguson. However, his time at Old Trafford was disappointing. In 51 appearances for the Red Devils, Verón managed just 2 goals and 7 assists. His struggles to adapt to the pace and physicality of the Premier League led to his departure after just 2 seasons, marking this transfer as one of the more puzzling decisions in Ferguson's tenure. Di Maria to Manchester United. Di Maria joined Manchester United in 2014 as a club record signing, bringing with him a reputation as one of the best wingers in the world after a stellar season with Real Madrid. However, his time at Old Trafford was marred by inconsistency and a lack of adaptation to the Premier League's physicality. Although he started brightly, being named Player of the Month in October, he struggled with injuries and personal issues, including a burglary at his home. Di Maria managed just 4 goals in 32 appearances before being sold to Paris Saint-Germain after 1 season, incurring a loss of $10.8 million for United. Tell us which transfer failure shocked you the most. For more fun videos like this, subscribe to Footnut YouTube channel.